Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. First day, and since I started streaming, we had some news drop as soon as I went live, so we will talk about this. Robert Covington was just ruled out, so this will be something to break down, definitely, because Portland, now they're going to be down 3 starters for tonight. No McCollum, no Robert Covington, no use of Nurkic, so Portland's going to be an interesting team. We'll have to talk about that for sure, but I appreciate you guys tuning into the stream once again. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know I didn't go live over the weekend. I didn't make any videos over the weekend, but I'm going to try and get more consistent on that. I want to say the weekend is my time off, but still I do try and upload videos as much as I can. I want to stream as much as I can, so I'll try and get something up for this weekend for sure. But obviously, Monday through Friday, I'm going to be here most of the time, especially when it comes to videos. Now, streams, I might miss a stream here and there, but I want to be here as much as I can for you guys. Just answer questions, chat. I've loved doing this, man. It's been awesome these last few weeks being able to stream and just have 100, 200, 300 of you show up every day. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, we got a pretty interesting slate tonight. 10 Gamer, some news has already come out, some news that we're still waiting on. So we'll break it all down. We'll answer all your questions. But yeah, appreciate all you guys tuning in. What's up, Iceman? John says, what's up, TFS GOAT? You the man. Let's get this money. Thoughts on going with either Boban or Muscala for salary relief and stacking the Dallas-Denver game? I'll be honest, John. I don't think we really need to do that on this slate. With Porzingis back, I don't see Boban getting many minutes at all. He might not even play. Muscala, I just feel like there's better value out there, especially now that Roko's out. That's going to open up some value. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. And stacking the Dallas-Denver game, I mean, there's not much I like from that game outside of, Jokic, Murray, Porzingis, and Luka. I don't really like anybody else outside of those 4 guys. So, yeah, probably not something I would be doing personally. What's good, Noah? Let's get this bread. Let's get it, Andreas. Let's get it, my man. Melo a good play now? Yeah, I think Melo's the first guy that comes to mind. Now that Robert Covington's out, I think Carmelo will likely move into the starting lineup, and he is really cheap. I mean, or not Covington. Jesus, I'm having a brain fart. Carmelo is, how much is he on DK? Yeah, he's 4,600. I mean, Melo, when he is playing 34, 35 minutes, which I think is what we're getting from him tonight. Off the bench, he's been playing mid to high 20s. I think now with Roko out, he's going to get over 30 minutes. He's going to start only 4,600. No McCollum. Let me pull up the usage real quick. I don't think Roko being off the floor is going to have much of an impact, but we'll take a look at the usage this season, see what we get with all these guys off the floor. So let's go to Portland real quick. Take a look with Roko, Nurkic, and McCollum off. I doubt we're going to get much of a sample size, but we can pull it up anyway just to see. So Carmelo's played 111 minutes with all those guys off the floor, and he's averaged 0.87 fantasy points per minute with a 27% usage rate. So he has the second highest usage rate on the team behind Dame when all these guys are off the floor. Dame, big numbers, 30% usage rate, 1.24 fantasy points per minute. Yeah, Carmelo, he looks like a really good play now that Robert Covington's out. And I think Derrick Jones Jr., another guy that should benefit, but Melo, for the upside, I think is a way better play over Derrick Jones Jr. and probably Rodney Hood as well. I did like Rodney Hood as a value, but I think I'm going to prefer Melo over Rodney Hood now for sure. But really, all those guys get a little bit of a boost from Portland because they're just going to be really thin now. They're down 3 starters. They're going to run a pretty tight rotation. There's a good amount of value from the Trailblazers for sure. What's up, Noah? Snow day in Nebraska, so can catch you live. Any new value pop up? I think, yeah, we just talked about it. With Robert Covington out, I think Carmelo Anthony is a really good value now. He's inconsistent. I get you. I get what you're saying, Kelro, but now that he's a starter, or now that he should be starting, I think that he's going to get more minutes. He's a guy that can score. I mean, Melo can still be productive when he's on the floor. And Dame, Dame's going to do everything, but he can't do everything. I mean, somebody else is going to have to score, so I do expect Melo to get a good amount of usage. He might even run with a second unit. I'm not sure, but he's the value that looks really good now. What's up, Noah? Thanks for everything, bro. Let's get this money tonight. Let's get it, Cornelius. Let's get it, my man. We got worried over the weekend. Tweet if you're safe. Russell out, so what to do now? So, Cyan, usually if I don't upload over the weekend, it just means that I just didn't have time to upload. I mean, if something ever happens to me personally, if I'm actually injured or something happens, with my personal life, I will be sure to update you guys. But, if I don't upload over the weekend, that probably just means that I didn't have time to. But Russell out now. I think Ricky Rubio is the guy that I want to go to. I really like Rubio. Now that Russell's out. Last game on Saturday, Rubio started in place of Russell, They said they were going to limit him to 24 to 28 minutes, and he played 28 minutes. He was still productive, though, with 28 Draftkings points. I mean, Rubio, like when he's a starting point guard, he's a point-per-minute player. He's going to start at point guard, probably play over 30 minutes in a great matchup, fast-paced game against the Warriors. Really, really like Ricky Rubio. I think he's probably one of my favorite plays on the board now that Russell's out. I'm going to have a ton of exposure to him, and he's definitely going to be in my main lineup for sure. I'm not sure yet if I'm playing multiple lineups tonight. I think I might just play one lineup on DK, one lineup on Yahoo, and most likely Rubio will be in both of my lineups on both sites. It's cool, gotta have a life outside of the streams. Appreciate you either way. Yeah, I mean, I want to stream as much as I can, but I appreciate you understanding, my man. Because, like, the weekends are the times when, I kind of spend time with my girlfriend. I'm not at my computer as much because, during the week, I'm at my computer basically till I get up until lock. So, I don't really get to see her much outside of on the weekends. I get to see her for a couple hours after lock, but that's really about it. Go with Derrick Jones Jr. instead. I mean, you could, but I think Carmelo gives you more upside, John. Me personally. I'm probably going to prefer Melo over Derrick Jones Jr. now. Who do you recommend most on the Blazers besides Lillard? I think it's Carmelo is my second favorite, and then Derrick Jones Jr., Rodney Hood. I think those guys are in play. Enes Kanter as well. But I think it's really Lillard and Melo that stand out the most. With the Portland guys out, I love Roby. I mean, yeah, I guess Roby gets a little bit of a boost. I mean, Robert Covington is one of the better defenders for Portland. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to guard Roby, but with Roko being out, that could help maybe someone like SGA. I don't know if SGA would be guarded by Robert Covington, but I mean, yeah, I guess I could see that. I liked Roby regardless, but all these guys being out, I think makes it likely the game stays close, which is a plus. Roby, as long as he can stay out of foul trouble, I think he gets like 26, 28 minutes. So, yeah, he's a good option. Derrick Jones Jr., a cash lock with Covington out. I wouldn't say he's a cash lock. I think Carmelo would be the guy I would look to first in cash over Derrick Jones Jr. But Derrick Jones Jr. is still in play for sure. Melo or Rodney Hood? I'm going to prefer Melo now, Jacob. I'm going to prefer Melo. Bam or Vooch? I would prefer Bam. I really like Bam again. He smashed on Saturday in the same matchup against the Nets. Gets to face him again today. Like Brooklyn's just always been a team that just can't defend bigs, and I don't know why. Like Jared Allen, DeAndre Jordan. Obviously, Jared Allen's not on the team anymore, but like DeAndre Jordan, never really been that good of a defender. We see all the time like bigs just have massive games against Brooklyn, and Bam went off against them on Saturday. I would not be surprised if he puts up another big game tonight. With more value opening up, it should be easier to pay up for Bam, so I do like him quite a bit. I think him and Jokic are probably like my two favorite spin-up options at the center position if you are going to pay up there. So yeah, I definitely like Bam. Would you rather have Hood or Hill? I prefer Rodney Hood over George Hill. I'm assuming that's George Hill you're talking about. Hope you're doing good, Noah. I am Danny. Appreciate you checking in. But better play tonight, Dejounte Murray or Kendrick Nunn? Oh, it's Dejounte Murray for me, for sure. Dejounte Murray is just too cheap on DraftKings. Way too cheap, man. Like, he was 7,500, 8K a couple days ago, and now he's only 6,500. Like, I don't know what happened with the pricing there, but yeah, Dejounte Murray, he stands out a ton on the slate on DK. Rubio or Dejounte Murray? I mean, if you can play Dejounte Murray, if you have the salary, I would play Dejounte Murray, but I like both a lot. Honestly, both of those two guys might be in my main lineup on DK, Rubio and Murray. Hood or Trent Jr.? I'd prefer Rodney Hood, Dylan. I think Rodney Hood's just, his minutes are way more secure. Trent Jr. still has a little bit of upside coming off the bench, and now that there's no Covington, I mean, there's more minutes to go around. But I think, Hood's likely to play 28 to 30 minutes, whereas Trent Jr., I can't say the same, so I'd go Rodney Hood there. You the legend? I appreciate that, Zachary. I appreciate that, man. Bam or Vooch? Yeah, we just answered that. Give me Bam. Gary Trent, Rodney Hood for me. What's good, my dude? What's up, Sam? Can I play Hood and Melo and cash together? I think you can, Gator. They're both so cheap that they can both pay off their price tags. If they were more expensive, I probably wouldn't play them together. But given that Melo's going to start and he's not taking minutes away from Hood, then yeah, you can play those guys together for sure. Bam and Lillard for pay-ups. Yeah, I think those are two really good pay-up options, T-Bone. I like both those guys quite a bit. Which Murray you like better tonight? I'd prefer Dejounte Murray over Jamal. Give me Dejounte Murray. Roby or Vanderbilt? Ooh, that's a close one. I'd probably go Roby. I think Roby's minutes are more secure, Bruce, but Vanderbilt has upside when he gets the minutes. It's just that his minutes have been all over the place. So Roby's probably the safer option there. Is Russell out for sure? We got word, David, that he's unlikely to play. He's doubtful, so yeah, I'm assuming he's going to be out. Harry Giles lock and loaded. How many minutes did Harry Giles play last game? I know Canner didn't play a ton. Giles played 19 minutes. I mean, Giles is a really productive player when he gets minutes, but yeah, now that he's backing up Cantor, so he's not going to get probably more than 18, 20 minutes. You know, it's really hard to go to him. Cantor keeps popping up in projections, and I keep saying no, sir. I mean, Cantor's a guy that, like, he just needs the minutes. Like, they played him, I think, 27 last game. Like, he's getting like 24, 26. He got 29 that one game against the Hawks. I mean, if you tell me Cantor's going to play like 28, 30 minutes, even at 6,600, I think he'd be in play on the slate. Now, if you play Yahoo, Cantor, he's really affordable over on Yahoo. He's at, I think, $21 at the center position. Yeah, $21 at center. I think Cantor does look like a pretty appealing play on Yahoo. It's tougher to go there on Draftkings, but if you're playing Yahoo, I do like some Cantor. The minutes, they're going to be all over the place, but he's a productive player when he does get minutes, and that's really, all we can ask for. What's good, Noah? What's up, Tank? Appreciate you tuning in, my man. Wayne Ellington season? I haven't been playing Wayne Ellington at all. I don't think I've played him once this year. And he's had some good games recently, but like Wayne Ellington is just never someone I feel like I have to roster. Like, I just feel like you get upside. There's so many other guys that just give you way more upside than Wayne Ellington. Melo, Derrick Jones Jr., and Dame. Yeah, Sports Hub, I'm fine with all three of those guys tonight. Melo and Dame are definitely my two favorites, though. Lonzo is so cheap. Yeah, his price has come down a good amount. He's like $5,800 on DK, and I do like him on DK, but if I can find the salary, I think I'd rather get up to Dejounte Murray. If I can, I could save salary and play Ricky Rubio. I think I'd rather do that as well. Marcus Smart, yeah, I'm fine with Marcus Smart. He's going to start at point guard in place of Kemba. He's probably going to play big minutes. It's a good matchup. Marcus Smart is never someone I like putting in my lineups because every time I do, it feels like it never works. But you could definitely get like a 35, 40-point game from Marcus Smart here. It's going to be a fast-paced game. Boston, obviously, they don't play too fast, but the Bulls are playing, I believe, at the second fastest pace in the league so far. They're a team that'll turn the ball over. Smart, we know, can get those defensive stats. He's probably going to be guarding Zach LaVine, so we know Zach LaVine's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. That'll give the opportunity for Smart to get steals. I'm fine with him on the slate. Is he a top option for me? No, but definitely viable for sure. With Hero out and Dragic questionable, would you take a chance with none? Right now, Adam, Dragic is actually probable. Dragic is expected to play. I mean, Nunn is still going to get good minutes off the bench, but his price has come way up. I mean, he's up to 6,100 now. Like, you need close to 40 DK points from Nunn to be a solid play at this price. And sure, he could get that, but yeah, with this price just keep creeping up, with it still coming up, I just don't think I can go to Kendrick Nunn today. I just think there's better plays. If he was cheaper, I'd have more interest, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to be on Nunn at his price. When you say cash games, you mean single game showdowns, right? I haven't played. No, David. Cash games are 50-50s, head-to-heads, double-ups. Basically contests where like 30-35% of the field at least gets paid. So double-ups, triple-ups, head-to-heads, 50-50s, those are cash games. Do you like anyone on the Celtics tonight with Tatum back? I think I like the big three, Tatum, Smart, and Jaylen Brown. I'm hearing talks about Jeff Teague, but I don't think I'm going to be on Jeff Teague. His minutes, even when Kemba was out and Tatum was out, like Jeff Teague was still only getting like 18 to 20 minutes off the bench. I know Peyton Pritchard's out too, but like he's still going to come off the bench. He's probably only going to play low to mid-20s in minutes. I know he's cheap and it's a good matchup, but I think there's better value on the slate. I don't see myself really going to Jeff Teague. Could he put up 25 DK points in 22 minutes against this Bulls team? For sure, he could do that. But is that going to win me a slate? 25 points from Jeff Teague? It's probably not. So, yeah, I think there's other guys I'd rather go to. There probably is going to be better value that opens up as well. So, really, from the Celtics, I just like the big three, Brown, Tatum, and Smart. Put some respect on Wayne Ellington's name. I mean, yeah, he's been playing well, but just Wayne Ellington is not someone I ever feel good rostering. Jax or Canner on the late slate? Jax. Who do you mean Jax? I don't even know who that is. I guess give me Canner. I don't know who Jax is, unless that's like James Wiseman maybe. I'm not sure. So yeah, give me Canner. $11 utility pick on Yahoo. Let's take a look. I know there's some $10 guys I like. I don't know about any $11 guys. I mean, if Taurean Prince starts, we did get word that Larry Nance is out. I don't think Prince is going to start, but if he does, he could be viable at $11. You could go to him. I mean, Wayne Ellington, you could play at $11. Or you could play Isaiah Roby. That's probably my favorite guy. So Isaiah Roby, $11. Where is Tristan? Yeah, Tristan, $11. I'd probably take Isaiah Roby. But you could go Ellington or, Prince if he starts, but I think Roby's the guy I'm probably most confident in there. Do you like Anthony Edwards at all? I mean, he's okay. Like, I had some interest in him last game when Russell was out, and he took a ton of shots. I think he took 14 shots, 24 DK points in 20 minutes. I mean, he's been terrible this year, but in a good matchup, in a fast-paced game, he's going to be low-owned. So if you want a low-owned cheap play that has some upside, I mean, Anthony Edwards is viable, assuming Russell doesn't play, which seems like is going to be the case. Hope I missed a question at the top. If Siakam is out, what about holding nose and playing Powell? I like Powell if Siakam's out. I would prefer that Lowry and Siakam both be out, but yeah, I mean, Powell's definitely in play if those two guys are out again. LeBron revenge game. I don't know if it's really a revenge game at this point. I mean, he's played the Cavs so many times since he left the team, so I don't think it really matters at this point. Smart or Dragic? I think I would take Marcus Smart there, Sam. Oh, Naz or Canner? I got you. So, yeah, I'd probably take Canner over Naz Reid. But I do have some interest in both those guys. Fading Bam in a 3K single entry. I'm like, you're not crazy, KJ. It's a 10-game slate. Like, it's not like Bam's a must-play by any means. It's not like he's this great value. On big slates like this, unless there's like a value play that projects really, really well, usually there's no must-plays on a 10-game slate. You can kind of just play who you want. Rocco out, Harry Giles in play. I don't think that really helps Harry Giles that much because Harry Giles is only going to play backup center to Cantor. So if Cantor plays 28 minutes, that means Giles will probably get like 20 minutes. I don't really see them playing Giles and Rocco or Giles and Cantor alongside each other. Like, I think Melo is the biggest beneficiary with Rocco out. I know you hate Wiggins, but still a good play tonight against his former team. He's okay. I mean, like, I just don't feel like Andrew Wiggins is ever someone I have to roster. Like, does Andrew Wiggins ever, like, win you tournaments? I mean, it never feels like Wiggins is someone you have to have. I know he's had some good games, but, like, I don't know. It's 6,500. I'm looking for about 40-plus DK points. I just feel like Wiggins most nights is not going to give me that. I mean, he scored more than 40 once in his last 10 games. I don't know. Even if you want to factor in the quote-unquote revenge game, I'm not a big fan of Wiggins. Just so many other guys I think I'd rather go to. What's good, Noah? Thoughts on Aaron Gordon? I think Gordon's viable. He's not a top play for me, but if you're looking for a power forward in that price range, I mean, he does stand out. The minutes should be there, even though he was dealing with some sort of an injury. He should be good to go for this game. I saw he was probable, so he's expected to play. What's his price on DK? I mean, yeah, he's 7,600. I mean, it's a good matchup against the Hornets. The Hornets are not that good of a defensive team. They've always struggled against power forwards and centers. Obviously, Gordon's not a center, but he can play power forward. He's fine, but not someone I'm going out of my way to roster tonight. I mean, that Charlotte-Orlando game, there's not much I really like in that game. Kind of these early games, it all depends on the injuries, but like if Embiid plays, if Lowry and Siakam both play, there really isn't much I like at all in those 3 7 o'clock games. Maybe DeLon Wright would be my favorite guy to target, like from Detroit, but if Embiid plays, I don't have much interest in Philly. If Toronto's fully healthy tonight, I don't have much interest in them. I don't really like anyone on the Pacers. The Hornets and Magic game, I think, like, sure, you could play Aaron Gordon. Sure, you could play Vooch. You could play Gordon Hayward. But I don't think any of those guys stand out as like top plays. A lot of my exposure, I think, is going to come from the late games. The Golden State, Minnesota game, the OKC, Portland game. I'm going to have a good amount from both those two. Do you look at your average fantasy points per player on Yahoo and what's a good number to get to? Oh, like rostering players based on their average? I mean, I don't really look at that solo. I just roster who I think the best plays are. I don't care about how much they average per game. It doesn't matter. Like Rubio, I mean, what's Rubio's average on the year? Like, Rubio's average he's averaged 21 points per game, which isn't great, but he's a great play tonight, in my opinion, at $13 because, D'Angelo Russell's out. Thoughts on Gordon or Vooch if Gordon plays? right now, Gordon's probable. He's expected to play. I think Vooch and Gordon, they're fine options, but neither one stand out as top plays for me. Like, I just think there's so many other guys I'd rather target on the slate. Dejounte Murray, Adebayo, SGA, and Jokic. I mean, BK, I'm fine with all four of those guys. If you're playing all four of those in the same lineup, I mean, I don't see a problem with that if you can make it work. Got a small forward for 4K or less. Ooh. I know, like, Derrick Jones Jr. is like 4,300. Rodney Hood's like 4,200. I'd like both those guys, but obviously you can't get to them. So 4K or less. Oh, man, it's tough. There ain't much I like down here. I mean, I would say if you can find the salary, try and get up to Derrick Jones Jr. or try and get up to Rodney Hood. Can you play? Is Melo small forward? I think Melo's power forward. Yeah, Melo's power forward. So, yeah, if you can try and get up to Rodney Hood or DJJ, Jeremy, I'd probably want to try and get to those two guys. You think Carson Edwards will get as much run as he did in the last game? Matthew, I really haven't looked at Carson Edwards. Even with Kemba out, I don't think he's going to be someone I really look to on a big slate like this. I feel like there's so many other guys I'd rather target. Good looks, Noah. Love your content. I appreciate that, Mark. I appreciate that. Do you think Jaylen Brown will be low owned with the return of Tatum, who could be limited? I mean, Jaylen Brown on this slate I don't think is going to be that popular. I don't think Tatum's going to be that popular either. Tatum, I would assume, is full go unless we hear otherwise. With Tatum coming back, obviously that hurts Brown a little bit, but we've seen Brown just still be really productive this year, even when Tatum's on the floor. With Kemba out, I mean, it's going to be Tatum and Brown doing everything, so I'm still fine. I'm fine playing Jaylen Brown. I think he is going to be low owned. What'd you think about Boucher? I mean, Boucher he's viable, but the minutes have been going down, which is a concern. He hasn't been playing that well. If Siakam is out again, I think Boucher is in play, but I'm a bit worried just with how poorly he's played lately. It doesn't seem like Nurse is wanting to give him the minutes that he was earlier in the year. Like, what is his minutes have been? Like, he's been playing like low 20s after getting close to 30 like every game. Like last three, 21, 20, 23, he's been struggling. I still have interest in if Siakam's out, but other than that, yeah, Boucher, he's still somewhat expensive, so he's not like a top play for me, Dante. Do you like Devin Vassell? He is so cheap. I mean, not really. Like, with the Spurs fully healthy, I mean, Devin Vassell's just not someone I'm really going to consider. I mean, he's 3,800. He's probably going to play 24, 25 minutes. Sure, he could give you 25 points in 25 minutes, but is that winning you a slate at 3,800? Not really. I mean, I feel like there's just other values that have more upside. Like, give me the Portland guys over Devin Vassell for sure. I thought Gary Clark was a good value when Aaron Gordon was out. He got 35 minutes last game, but if Gordon plays, has his full minutes, should I take Gary Clark out now? Yeah, I'm off. If Aaron Gordon plays, which seems like it's going to be the case, I'm off Gary Clark. Because Gary Clark will probably just play like 18 to 20 minutes off the bench. Steph and Baisley or SGA and Markkanen. Oh, Steph and Baisley, SGA and Markkanen. SGA, Markkanen, Steph, Baisley. I'll probably go Steph Baisley there. Sam, give me Steph and Baisley. With Covington out, who is next on the roster? I mean, I think Carmelo is going to be the guy that steps in for Covington. So Carmelo is probably the biggest beneficiary. He'll be the guy that starts in place of Covington. So what would you need or looking for Rubio to get you $13 on Yahoo with Russell out? I mean, if I want... It's so hard to say on Yahoo, but normally I want like 10 to 15 points more than what their salary is. So Rubio's $13. I'm probably looking for like 25 to 30 points from him. Normally, the cheap guys I want a little bit more than like 10, 15. The expensive guys that are like $50, $55, usually if they give you, 55, 60 points, you're kind of good. But the cheap guys, I'm looking for about, 10 to 15 points more than what their salary is. So Rubio, $13, I'm looking for about, 25, 30 points, which I think he can easily get tonight. Right now on FanDuel, I have Dejounte Murray, Luka, SGA, Adebayo, and possibly Dwight Howard. I mean, yeah, that's fine, BK. Obviously, Dwight Howard, that's all dependent on if Embiid plays. But, yeah, if Embiid's out, that looks pretty fine. I mean, that looks fine to me. Do you like OG tonight? I mean, OG's fine, but his prices come way up, so I'm hesitant to go there. I mean, he's almost like $7K on Draftkings now. Like, what is his price? Yeah, he's $6,900 on Draftkings. I don't think I can play OG Anunoby at $6,900. I know he's been playing well recently, and even if Siakam and Lowry are out again, like I think I'd just rather target Powell. I'd rather target Van Vliet. I don't really see myself paying near $7K for OG Anunoby. because he's normally just not a player that you want to pay nearly 7K for. Thanks for all the great info. You definitely know your stuff. Sure glad I found you on YouTube. What is your biggest hit on DK, if I may ask? T-Man, I mean, I've had some, smaller $1,000 wins on DK. I've took down the mini-max a few times. I've never had, any huge wins on DK. But my biggest win overall was on Yahoo. It was a $10,000 win. Took down a free roll tournament. Norman Powell, Nunn, or Marcus Smart. I'd probably take Marcus Smart there, BK, between those three. Lillard, Brunson, SGA, Nunn, MPJ, Anthony, Bam, Roby, and Cantor. I mean, Brunson, I'm a bit hesitant on. With Luka in the lineup, with Porzingis there, Brunson's just not going to be that productive. Even though he's starting and playing good minutes, he's just not going to be that productive when he's on the floor. But the rest is okay. I'm not a big fan of Brunson, though. I think there's probably other guys I'd rather go to over Brunson. Murray or Lillard? I mean, Murray and Lillard are two different price points. So, I mean, who scores more points? Obviously, Damian Lillard, I think, scores more points. But when you factor in salary, I mean, I like both a lot. Honestly, my main lineup on DK, I mean, I don't want to give you guys my main lineup, but it's probably going to have, my point guards are probably going to be, I'm going to have Lillard at point guard, Murray at guard, and then Ricky Rubio at utility, most likely. With Siakam and Lowry questionable, think wannabe Utah Wannabe a decent value. I mean, I don't think he's going to get a ton of minutes. Last game, Stanley Johnson was the guy that started in place of Siakam, and he played a ton of minutes. So if I was going to go to anyone cheap from the Raptors, it would probably be Stanley Johnson, assuming he starts again. Thoughts on Luka and Joker? I mean, yeah, I think both guys are in play. I never have a problem with either one of Luka or Jokic. On this slate, are they top options for me? Probably not. I think I'd rather go to Dame. Would rather go probably to Steph Curry as well. But yeah, Luka and Jokic are definitely in play. It's just, if I'm playing one lineup tonight, I don't know if those are the two guys that make it into my one lineup. Does Harden take more than 8 shots today? I would hope so. You think Powell plays 37 minutes again? I mean, if Siakam and Lowry are both out, I think 34, 35 is very likely for Powell. If one of those two guys plays, then probably not. If they both play, then I'm completely off Norman Powell. But if they're both out again, yeah, he'll probably get big minutes once again. If Embiid is out, Howard will be the cheap center play. Yeah, he's going to be a pretty good value if Embiid's out for sure. Is Rodney Hood a good cash play? I think he's definitely cash viable for sure because he's going to get the minutes. Now that there's another guy out for Portland, I just think that even secures his minutes even more. Yeah, I definitely think Rodney Hood's cash viable for sure. Anthony Simmons in play. Maybe Portland goes small without Rocco. I mean, yeah, he's viable. I never feel good rostering Anthony Simmons when he's coming off the bench, but how many minutes did he get last game? I think he's been playing low to mid-20s in minutes. He got 23 last game. I mean, yeah, you could go there as a GPP dart throw. I don't think anyone's going to roster him, so that's fine, Michael. I don't mind him as a punt play for low ownership. Is he a top value for me, though? Not really. I think there's other values that probably look better. Al Horford, we don't know yet, bless up. We don't know if Horford's playing or not. If he plays, I don't really have any interest in him. But if he's out again, then yeah, Roby's the guy we want to go to there. Anthony Edwards or Jeremy Lamb? I'd probably take Anthony Edwards there between those two. Noah, love your content. First time in the stream. I appreciate that, Creative Trends. Appreciate that. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Top 3 cash game plays. I mean, if you're talking Draftkings, I think Rubio looks like a really good play now that Russell's expected to be out. I think Dame is probably the stud you want to pay it for in cash. And I think Dejounte Murray at his price looks like a really good cash play. Carmelo as well. Those are 4 guys I'd probably be starting with in cash games. Are you higher on Dragic or Nunn? I mean, Dragic is a guy I think I'd want to go to, especially if he's going to be lower owned. Last slate, Nunn was way more popular than Dragic. And I know Nunn had just as good of a game, but Dragic is still the starter. He's still the guy that I think gives you more upside, so I'd prefer Dragic over Nunn, especially now that Nunn's price is coming way up. Is it bad if you pivot off Dame? I don't think so. I mean, if you're playing tournaments, you could play, there's so many studs on the slate. You don't have to play Dame in tournaments. In cash games, though, I think he's probably the guy that projects the best points per dollar wise and is probably the stud you want to pay for in cash games. But tournaments, I mean, Jokic, Luka, those guys look like good tournament plays for sure. If no Embiid, how do you feel about Ben Simmons? He usually kills the Pistons and isn't too expensive at all. I believe he's 8.2K on DK. Yeah, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, both those guys will become way better options if Embiid's out. Simmons is 8.4K on DK, but I'd still be fine paying that price for him, if Embiid's out. How much do you focus on ownership, or do you simply just go with the guys you like the most? Honestly, Damian, I don't focus too much on ownership, man. If I think a guy's a really good play, I don't care how high owned he is, I'm just going to play him. And that's just me personally. I know there's some other people that say, this guy's going to be 60% owned. I need to come in underweight, or I need to fade him. If I think he's a good play, I'm just going to, go all in. Like a lot of these slates we've had recently with Boogie being so popular, like Boogie's been like 70, 80% owned when he was starting and he was so cheap. I know there were some people that said, maybe you should fade him, but I just hit the lock button. Like, if I think there's a guy that's cheap, that's just a lock to smash or is close to it, I'll just play him in every lineup. And normally on big slates like this, ownership isn't something you don't need to weigh it too much because it's a big slate. Ownership's going to be spread out. There's not going to be any guys that are, like, massively popular. I mean, right now the highest owned player on the slate might be Carmelo Anthony, but I don't know. I mean, he might be the highest owned player on the slate, and he might only be, like, 35%. It's not like he's going to be 80% owned. I'm really waiting for these injury reports. Yeah, we still got a lot of news, especially with Toronto, with Siakam and Lowry, with Joel Embiid. Those are the big question marks right now. I assume we'll get those probably around like 5:30 once the 5:30 injury report comes out. Lonzo GPP sleeper with the loaded point guard lineup tonight. I mean, yeah, Lonzo should be low owned, so he's someone you could definitely target in tournaments. Value from Cleveland with injuries. I don't really think there's much value opening up from Cleveland, Zach. I mean, like Taurean Prince, he may start in place of Larry Nance, but he's not that cheap. I mean, he's like 45 or 4,400 on DK. Honestly, I think there are probably better values. Honestly, I'd probably rather take Melo over Taurean Prince. So really, I don't see much opening up from Cleveland, even with Larry Nance out. Zion, Porzingis, or Bam. It would be between Porzingis or Bam for me. Probably would take Bam there, Dante, but it'd be close between him or Porzingis. Should I build around Bam and Joker at my utility? This is Yahoo. Can I get some Yahoo advice for cash? In cash, I don't know if you want to play Joker in cash on Yahoo. I think there's other guys I would probably rather go to. But Bam, I think, is definitely cash viable on Yahoo. Probably would rather play Lillard, though, on Yahoo for cash games. Like, he's $45, whereas Jokic is $54. Like, I'd rather take the savings and play Lillard at $45. Plus, there's a lot of good, like, cheap plays at guard. I think this is going to be one of those slates where you're probably going to have, like, 3-point guards in cash. Rubio, Lillard, maybe Dejounte Murray. If you're talking DraftKings, I know he's not as good of a play on Yahoo, but DraftKings, Dejounte Murray looks really good. Thanks, I appreciate it. Sure thing, Jason. Sure thing. Who's your favorite center play today? Not factoring in price, it's probably Bam Adebayo at the top. But there's a lot of good centers. Adebayo, Jokic, Cantor, I don't mind. Naz Reid, Roby. There's a lot of good centers. Any interest in Wiseman? I mean, yeah, Wiseman's viable. His minutes have been way more consistent recently, which is what we want to see. He's been getting like 25, 26 minutes. I think he's likely to play 25, 26 today. He might get a few more. His price has come up, so he's not like as good of a value as he was on the last few slates, but for 5,400, Wiseman in tournaments is going to be low owned, so he is someone you could target, for low ownership in tournaments. Thanks for taking the time to answer questions, bro. Sure thing, Michael. That's what I'm here for. I love doing this, man. Like, time flies when I'm on these streams. It's crazy. I've been talking for 40 minutes, and it feels like I've just went live. It's crazy. You think Jeff Teague's going to get more usage? Pritchard is out, so should Teague get more minutes? Honestly, PP, I don't think he really is. Like, not last week, but like the week before when Kemba was out and Tatum was both out, like Kemba and Tatum were both out. I mean, Teague was still only playing like 20 minutes off the bench. I know Pritchard wasn't out then, but I think even with Pritchard and Kemba out, like Teague might only play 22, 24 minutes. Could he hit value in 22 minutes against the Bulls? For sure he could, but does he stand out as like a core value for me? I don't think so. I think there's other guys I'd rather go to. And if Jeff Teague's going to be popular, there's other guys I'd rather play for sure. Tobias about to drop 50 against his old team. I mean, he could. Especially if Embiid's out. Tobias could definitely have a big game. Hi, dude. Hi, Nicholas. What's up, man? What's up? Here's my early FanDuel lineup. Dejounte Murray, Luka, Marcus Smart, SGA, Carmelo, Adebayo, Dwight Howard. Looks pretty good to me, DK. Obviously, you're waiting on that Embiid news, but if Embiid's out, I could see playing that for sure. Assuming no other crazy news, comes out from now to a lot. Appreciate it. Keep the good work, bro. Appreciate that, Dante. I appreciate that. How about Vooch? David, we kind of mentioned Vooch throughout the stream. He's not someone I'm really going out of my way to play today, especially since Aaron Gordon's expected to play. I'd rather play Bam for cheaper than Vooch. What about Dylan Windler? Cav is going to get blown out, and he's been playing near 20 minutes. I'm not on Dylan Windler. I don't play guys hoping for a blowout. There's just, like on a big slate like this, if you're playing guys hoping for a blowout, you're not going to have much success doing that. Sure, the game could blow out and Dylan Windler gets 25 minutes off the bench, but even if he does, is he going to be a great value at 3,700? There's so many other guys that are probably going to outscore him that I don't think I really want to go to, Dylan Windler. He got 26 minutes last game, but I don't know. I don't play guys hoping for a blowout. You can, but it's not something that I do. Top two centers, you like Jokic or value with Reed? Chris, I'm fine with either one of those guys. If you're paying up, I think Jokic, Bam look really good. If you're going a little bit cheaper, Naz Reed, Isaiah Roby, those are some values I like. DeLon Wright, I do like DeLon Wright, Christy. With Derrick Rose still out, with him out for this game, Wright's going to get big minutes. He got 36 minutes last game with Derrick Rose out. He's still pretty affordable. I think he's definitely in play on the slate for sure. That Raptors news is the big one. Oh yeah. That's what we're waiting on for sure. So Rubio is your play from the Timberwolves? Yeah, with Russell not expected to play, I think Rubio's the guy I want to go to from Minnesota. When you factor in price, I think he's like the most underpriced guy from Minnesota. Wayne Ellington with no D Rose. We've talked about Wayne Ellington throughout the stream. His upside I think is a little bit limited given he's kind of scoring dependent and doesn't do much outside of score. I think you get more upside from DeLon Wright, who can chip in with points, can chip in with rebounds, assists, can get defensive stats. I'd rather roster him over Wayne Ellington, just personally. Let's get this money, boys. Let's get it, Caesar. Let's get it, my man. I don't think I want to go for Windler either. I'm not playing Dylan Windler, but if you want to go for it. Or if you want to play him and hope for the blowout, go ahead. I'm not telling you. At the end of the day, it's you clicking the guys into your lineup, so. Isaiah Roby or Carmelo. I think I'm going to prefer Carmelo now over Isaiah Roby. But I like both. Kendrick Nunn or Marcus Smart. I'm going to prefer Marcus Smart over Kendrick Nunn. I think Nunn is solid at 6,100. We've talked about Kendrick Nunn's price. I think he's getting to the point where he's a little bit too expensive for me. Now that he's up to 6,100, you really need Kendrick Nunn to have a good game off the bench to pay off that price. I just think there's other guys I'd rather go to, especially like Dejounte Murray. I think Dejounte Murray gives you way more upside, and he's only a couple hundred more. Got to bounce, bro. Got to go scoot 50 feet of snow before lot. Really appreciate you, Noah. I hope you keep doing it. Good luck with that, David. Good luck with that, my man. But I appreciate you tuning in to the stream. I do. Luckily, down here in South Carolina, we don't have to worry about that. Thoughts on Michael Porter Jr.? His price is still pretty high. He's 6,600 on DK. I don't think Michael Porter Jr. is going to be someone I'm really looking too much at his price. If he was cheaper, then maybe, but I think there's just so many other options I'd rather go to. Appreciate the help as always, my man. Sure thing, Tank. How confident are we in the slate compared to other lineups you roster this week? I wouldn't play any slate if I wasn't confident. I'm always confident in what I'm able to put out there. Keldon Johnson, Aldridge, MPJ, Markkanen, or Wiggins at forward. I probably would go with, it'd be between Aldridge or Markkanen. Probably take Markkanen between those four. What do you think about Tice or Thompson in a paced-up game? I don't really like either one, Andrew. I just think there's other guys I'd rather go to, honestly. Sure, they could have a good game and a really good matchup, but I don't know. Daniel Tice, Tristan Thompson, when they're both healthy, I just rarely play either one. On a big slate like this, do you like to get 2 stars, a few mid-tier, and a few cheap, or 1 star and then mostly mid-tier guys? I mean, Sam, it all depends on the slate. Like, value could open up, and that could make it be a stars and scrubs slate. There could be no value, and then you just kind of play a bunch of mid-tier guys. I mean, it's all slate dependent. Like, I never look at a slate and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to roster all these studs, because then if I'm rostering all these studs, I have to find some value, and if there's no good value, then I'm not going to force bad value into my lineup. So, I mean, right now it's kind of looking a little stars and scrubsy because we do have some decent value opening up from the Blazers and could have some value open up if, like, Siakam and Lowry are out, if Embiid's out, and who knows what kind of news could break from now till lock. Who's your Super Bowl pick? Better root for my Chiefs. I mean, I don't want to say that. Like, obviously, I think the Chiefs are the better team, but I don't like seeing teams win constantly unless it's my team. So I hate to say it, T-Bone, but I'm gonna have to root for the Bucks. Although I really don't care who wins, honestly. I thought the Packers were gonna honestly win. I thought it was gonna be Packers Steelers at the beginning of the year. That was my Super Bowl prediction: was Packers and Steelers. So I was a little wrong there. Seth Curry burned me last time, but I still like his upside at 5,100. I mean, sure, Curry's fine, but I don't know. Maybe if Embiid's out, I could see going to Curry, but I think there's probably other guys I'd rather roster on this slate over Seth Curry. What part of SC do you live in? I mean, I don't want to say exactly where I live, Bobby, but I would say I'm in like the middle area. I don't want to say exactly where I live. Down south, I guess. You like Harry Giles? Not really, Ethan. Like, he's just going to back up Canner and probably play 18, 20 minutes, basically the minutes that Canner doesn't play. That's what Giles is going to play. I'm not really looking at Giles. I like Dame, but also at that price, he has to get you at least 60 DK points. I mean, yeah, I'm rostering Dame tonight hoping for 60 plus. Like, if he gets me 50, I'm not going to be that happy. But I think with no CJ McCollum, I mean, Dame's he's just going to go out there and chuck. The offense is going to run through Dame, and at 10,300, I think he's still worth that price tag. George Hill out? Did we just get that? Oh, yeah. George Hill's out. So that's kind of not surprising, honestly. I don't know if that really impacts too much. I mean, maybe Diallo. I mean, what's Diallo's price? Like, Diallo's come way down in price, so I could see playing him. He's 3,900. Yeah, I think Diallo's a solid value now that George Hill's out. I can't remember who started last time George Hill was out. I can't remember who they started. Does anybody know? Who started last time Hill was out? Was it Diallo? I can't remember. Because normally their starting lineup is SJ, Hill, Dort, Baisley, Roby. But I don't know. I think it would be Diallo, but I guess we'll see. New to DFS, appreciate all the help. I'm glad I could help, Sam. Glad I could help. Salmon or lobster for dinner? Oh, God. I don't like either one. Lobster if I had to choose, but I'm not a seafood guy. I hate seafood. I'm one of those weirdos that, like, when we go to the beach for family vacations, I get steak at every restaurant. Or like a cheeseburger. I'm in the middle area. You're trying to get dropped. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say exactly where I live. But I do live in South Carolina. Think it was Diallo? Yeah, that's what I thought. I think that would make the most sense, that Diallo would start for Hill. But I guess we'll see. But Diallo, he does feel like the value that opens up now. Is he like a smash play? I don't think he's a smash, but he's definitely in play now. I didn't really have any interest in Diallo, but now I do, now with George Hill out. You like Teague with Tatum back? I mean, I'm not really on Teague, Ethan. I know some other people are, but I'm not probably going to play him personally. If not, who's a good $3,700 utility option? I mean, honestly, if you can find the salary, I would probably try and get up to Diallo now for $3,900, but let's see. $3,700. I mean, I don't know if there's much down here that I'm a big fan of. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably rather get up to Diallo at $3,900, or if Siakam and Lowry are out again, you could play Stanley Johnson at $3,800. He got 31 minutes last game with Lowry and Siakam out, and he'd probably get similar minutes today if they're out again. So him and Diallo would probably be the guys I would try and get up to. Who's your favorite NBA player? I'm a huge LeBron fan. Huge LeBron fan. Basically, whatever. I don't know that some people may think this is a bandwagon or whatever. Basically, whatever team LeBron plays for, that's the team I'm a fan of. That's how it's always been for me. So I was a Heat fan, I was a Cavs fan, and now I'm a Lakers fan. It was Justin. Oh yeah, that sounds right. Justin Jackson started last time. I mean, if Justin Jackson starts, he's minimum salary. Maybe you could go to him, but who knows how many minutes he plays. Yeah, I feel like Diallo probably gives you more upside, even if Diallo comes off the bench. Roby or Melo? I think we've already answered that, John, but give me a Melo now. Now that Robert Covington's out, I prefer Melo over Roby, but I like both quite a bit. Favorite pay-up options? For me, Tommy, I think it's definitely Dame, number one. I really like Curry. And then I think Luka and Jokic in tournaments make a lot of sense. But Dame looks like the core pay-up option for me. And Curry I like as well. Curry's too cheap, definitely. For this matchup against Minnesota, fast-paced game, Curry's too cheap at 9,200. Justin Jackson started for Hill on the 29th when he was out. Diallo hasn't ever started. That sounded right. That's right, Jason. I don't know if Justin Jackson, though, even if he starts, is someone we're really going to want to go to. What's up, Noah? What's up, JM? Do you live in Texas? I do not live in Texas. I don't. That's me as well. I've always said when LeBron retires, I'll be a Pacers fan from Indiana, but right now, nope. I totally get you, Cameron. I don't know who I'm going to be a fan of when LeBron retires. I mean, I live in SC, so will I be a fan of the Hornets or the Hawks? Honestly, probably not. I'll probably just stay a Lakers fan. I assume LeBron's going to retire after he's not going to play for any other team. He's going to retire a Lakers, so I guess after he retires, I'll just stay a Lakers fan. Hopefully AD will kind of carry the torch and be a Laker for life. I don't consider that a bandwagon because I love D Rose and I support any team he goes to, but I'm a Bulls fan for life. I get you, Dante. I get you there. I will not be playing Jackson. I think even if Justin Jackson starts for Hill, probably won't be playing him. Murray, Diallo, Hayward, Melo, Bam, Ricky Rubio, KCP, Dame. Looks pretty good to me. I mean, Murray, Diallo, Hayward, Melo, Bam. KCP, I'm not a big fan of Zach. I don't think I really want to go to KCP on this big slate, but the rest looks good. Levine or Curry? I would prefer Curry over Levine, Ethan. How many tourneys have you won? Honestly, Smoke Pizza, I really don't know. I don't keep track of the amount of tournaments I win. And I'm not saying I've won, so many tournaments, but, I've had some $2,000, $3,000 wins. I don't really write those down on a fucking piece of paper. Keep track of them. Irving, James, Vooch, Drummond, or Davis? Ooh. Between those five, I'd probably go with Vooch between the five. It'd be between Vooch or LeBron. Probably Vooch. Do you get to Wayne Ellington tonight? Honestly, I'm probably not going to be playing Wayne Ellington. I think I'm only playing one lineup tonight on both sites, and I don't think Wayne Ellington's going to be in my one lineup, so no. Maybe if you're playing a lot of lineups, you could have some Wayne Ellington, but he's just never someone I feel like I have to roster. We've had a lot of freaking Wayne Ellington questions. My God. You guys must love Wayne Ellington tonight. Any value plays under 3,500? I mean, there really isn't much that cheap. I guess if Justin Jackson starts, he's minimum salary, you could play him, but yeah, there's not much value that low. What's your best value play? You think Hayward would be a good play if Embiid sits? Yeah, Howard would be a good value if Embiid's out. Right now, I think one of the better values, I like Ricky Rubio a lot at 5,100. I like Carmelo a lot at 4,600. I think Diallo at 3,900 is a solid value now with what's his name? With George Hill out. The other Portland guys like Rodney Hood, Derrick Jones Jr., they're in play as well. Those are some cheap options I like. So you ain't cashing from DFS, just Patreon. Oh my God. Another troll. Smoke Pizza, I have head-to-heads posted in the DK lobby, so if you want to go take them, go ahead. My username is GOAT of DFS, and if they're all taken by now, you can send me a head-to-head. I say this every time. If you think I'm in here just bullshitting and I don't provide good information, then you can play me. That's how it is. If you don't think I know what I'm doing, then play me. That's all I gotta say. Wayne Ellington went crazy on Yahoo. Yeah, probably still not going to go there, honestly. I know he had like 29 or 28 or 29 fantasy points last game, but honestly, I'm probably not going to Wayne Ellington. Wayne Ellington giveaway. I mean, we could do that, maybe. I don't know what to set the number at though. Like, what's a good over under for Wayne Ellington fantasy points? I mean, what's his price? Let's see. 4,200. I would say like 28, like 28 and a half, somewhere close to 30. That would have to be like the over under for Wayne Ellington. Do you play higher single entry tournaments, or do you prefer do you play higher entry tournaments, or do you prefer single entry contests? I mean, I don't think you want to chase the high dollar contests. So, you know, the 100K to first big GPPs with 40, 50,000 entries in them. Like, if you just play one lineup in that every day, at the end of your DFS career, I've said this, you're probably going to be a losing player. So playing single entry, so that way it's your one lineup against everyone else's one lineup, I think that's the way to go. You know, especially if you're someone that only plays one lineup or just plays a handful, try and avoid the big MME contests, like the big 150 max, and just play single entry, 3 max, small fields. Those are good ways to profit. Is scoring different on Yahoo? I only play on DK. Zach, if you play on FanDuel, then yeah, I mean, FanDuel is they're scoring same as Yahoo. Only difference is you don't get like the double-double bonus or the triple-double bonus. You don't get the half-point bonus for 3-pointers made, and steals and blocks on Yahoo are worth 3 points rather than 2 points. But if you play FanDuel, their scoring is the same as Yahoo's. K sending you a 10K head-to-head. Go ahead, Smoke Pizza. I'll accept it. But I assume you will not be doing that. You're just in here to troll, my man. But I'll be waiting. I'll have my phone out right now. Let me take a look. I'll pull up Draftkings real quick just to see. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for that invite, buddy. Like, those are the dudes that, oh my god, just tilts me, man. Like, I have a dude that did that before, that shit. I told him to play me head-to-head. He said he'd send me a 10K, and obviously he never did. Now, that's probably the same dude. He's probably just on, like, his 5th account at this point. That's what those trolls do, man. You block the trolls, and they just keep making new accounts. They don't leave you alone. They're fucking crazy. They're lunatics. Wayne Ellington ain't getting no 30. Yeah, we'll have to figure out an over-under. We'll do that before the stream ends. We'll do a Wayne Ellington giveaway. We'll set his over-under at something, and if it goes over that, I'll do a giveaway on tomorrow's stream. What's your name on DK? It's GOAT of DFS. I'm always down to play anyone, but yeah, especially the trolls, man. I'd love to play the trolls. If I could play them every day, I'd probably be able to retire at this point because I know they all suck. But my name is GOAT of DFS. If you want to send me a head-to-head. Nunn 6,100. Yeah, we've talked about Nunn so much. I think his price is just a little bit too expensive for me, at least for my liking. You know, if you're playing a lot of lineups, for sure you could have some exposure to Kendrick Nunn, but if I'm only playing one lineup tonight, I don't think there's any way I get to Kendrick Nunn at his price. They want to be you so bad. I mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure I know who that dude is. He's been in my stream before trolling. He just makes new accounts every time he gets banned. He just keeps coming back. It's crazy. You hate to see it, man. God, you hate to see it. You forgot about the Kyle Kuzma giveaway. Suave, he did not get there. He was close. He had a good game that night, but I think we set the over at it was 30 or something. He had to get or I can't remember what the number was, but he got a few points under Kuzma's goal. I think it was 32 and he got 29. It was close, but he didn't get there. keeps coming back but won't sit that. Yeah. I had a dude one time, he challenged me. He said he'd play me. So he gave me his username and I sent him a head-to-head, and of course he never accepted it. I'm pretty sure that's the same dude. No, give me a Yahoo lineup real quick so I can play it. I'm sorry, Christopher, but I don't give out lineups, my man. If you want my core plays though, all that stuff can be found on Patreon, but I don't give out full lineups. I'm not trying to get banned. You can get, your fucking shit banned for that. I can't find you on DK. Christy, it's GOAT, GOAT of OF DFS, DFS. So GOAT of DFS. That's my username on DK. I was an Alex Lynn owner last night, and less than 1%. He started out hot and then died. I was hoping for more. Damn, that was a good play if he was under 1% owned. I know he came off the bench, but yeah, Alex Lynn, he's got upside if he gets, 20 minutes. I think he played like 20 minutes last game, but damn, I didn't know he was that low. What do you think about playing slightly different variations of same core lineup versus having multiple different core lineups? It's all up to you, Cyan. You can play 3 lineups and have 4 or 5 guys in every single lineup. You can play 3 lineups and have nobody in the same lineup. Like, it just all depends. Normally, if I was playing like 3 lineups, I would not have 5 guys in every single lineup. But it's all up to you. Do you pay for any lineup optimizer or you make them all by hand? I make them all by hand, Kellen. That's just my preference. I know there's good, optimizers out there you can pay for. There's good projections out there you can pay for. But I feel like I can be a good player, a profitable player, just making my lineups by hand and using the knowledge that I have for the game. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. So, been able to work doing that way. Tell us more troll stories. I don't have many of them, except that one. There was one dude who just came in my comment section and was just going nuts, just calling me, saying, I don't know what I'm doing, all this shit. And yeah, I said, all right, just play me. I sent him my username, he messaged me on Twitter. So I sent him my username and he said something, you're a punk. Here's my username. Send it to me. I sent him the head-to-head, and of course he never accepted it. It was for baseball, too. It was during baseball season, like in the playoffs. I really don't get trolls much that often, but God, when they come, man, they are just annoying. They don't leave you alone. It's insane. It's like you think you get rid of them, they just keep coming back. It's usually one guy, and he just has like 14 accounts. He just keeps coming with a new account every time. I'm super late getting on here. Did you touch on Rubio? I like Rubio a lot, Derek. With D'Angelo Russell out now, I think Rubio is a great play. Do you do DFS full-time or do you work on the side? I don't do DFS full-time. Obviously, I make money on YouTube. I have a Patreon. I do make money playing DFS, but not full-time. I mean, doing DFS full-time, doing DFS is your primary source of income, that is incredibly hard. There's only a small percentage of people that can do that. I mean, just gambling in general, just being like a professional gambler for a living. I mean, that is a risky job to have. I'll say that. Unless you have like a really good, income, money saved up, it's really hard to be a gambler for a living. We got your back, Noah. You're the GOAT. I appreciate that, Ryan. Look, man, the trolls, they don't come in here often, but when they do, it's pretty annoying because they say the stupidest fucking shit. Looking forward to your content tomorrow after you take that 10K from that dummy. Let me check one more time, Ethan. I don't think he sent anything, but let me check one more time. Oh, I do have 2 invites. Someone named The D Factor sent you a friend request, and All Sweets sent you a friend request. I assume that's 2 of y'all in the stream. Honestly, guys, I'm not trying to be mean, but don't send me friend requests. If you want to send me contest invites, I'm okay with that, but friend requests, those don't really do anything. If you got trolls, that means you're doing something right. Yeah, that's what it is. Once you start getting a name out there, once you start, people start seeing your content, there's going to be trolls that come along. You could be curing cancer. You could be saving the world, and somebody's going to hate. It's just how life is. You just got to get used to it. Trolls travel in packs. Yeah, 100%. I think I've been subscribed to you since 2017, but I do know you were brand new to Fairly YouTube. I appreciate that, Bernard. Yeah, if you were subscribed then, you were subscribed right when I started, because I think I started in 2017. That's when I started making videos. Crazy that people waste their energy to troll people. What a world. Appreciate the input you provide. I appreciate that, Damien. Yeah, like I said, there's not many trolls, but when they do come in here, they don't leave you the fuck alone. Couldn't send one without being added as a friend. Okay, well, I'll accept that then, Al. I thought you could send contest invites. If you go to create a contest, you can set it up to be private, and then you can input somebody's username, I think, but I don't know 100%. All right, guys, I went a little bit over. It's 4:33. We've been on for a little bit over an hour, so I appreciate all you tuning in. I know we had some trolls in here, but what can you do, man? It's part of the job, I guess. When you do stuff on the internet for a living, people are going to come in and hate, but it's part of the job. What is your daytime job? I mean, I work on my content on Patreon. Obviously, the videos I put out, I make money on YouTube. I do this full time, like making money. I make money playing DFS, providing DFS content. That is my full time job. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you, Smoke Bear, Bernard, Ethan. Appreciate all you guys. Good luck tonight, as always. Hit that like button before you do get out of here. I appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all the nice comments. Even though we did have some trolls in here today, the nice comments usually always outweigh the trolls. But appreciate it, guys. Good luck tonight, as always, and hope you have a good one. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow for sure. We'll definitely be streaming tomorrow. So good luck, guys. Appreciate it. Peace out. Peace out.